What's up, Bravehearts? Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk to you about mistakes and why people have an inverse, reverse relationship with mistakes and how they should change their mindset on it, and things that I'm going to help you see why mistakes are actually a good thing and how they help your life. So let's start with this. If you don't make a mistake, you're not even trying, right? If you constantly doing everything the right way, you're not really learning, because you learn in your mistakes, not from your success. You can be successful all you want, you can have everything, and that's good. Ultimately, that's what we all want to do. But along the way, you're definitely going to make mistakes. They're inevitable. We all do, in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's in your relationships, whether it's at your work, whether it's in school, whether it's in a side hustle you're trying to start, everybody makes mistakes. The beautiful thing is that we can only improve and go up from there. So some of the things that, or perceptions that people have of mistakes, is that they let it define who they are, and it's not who you are. Mistakes, like I said, are a testament that you're pursuing what you want to pursue, and it takes courage to make mistakes. For example, I remember when I was excited when I started school, and my first exam in nursing school, I got a 74. Turned my stomach inside out. I didn't even want to tell anybody about it till this day. Funny thing about it is I'm actually admitting it here to you guys for the first time, besides the immediate family members that I live with, but nobody else in my family knew about it. Not friends, not even other nursing students. I was just too embarrassed. I felt like everything I built up to that point was just kind of like, wow, how could this have happened? I did everything right up until that point, and I had to either, like I said, either let it define me or do something about it. So I realized that, there were mistakes in my studying, there were mistakes in the time that I spent, and I would say a little bit of being a little too confident in my past successes, which is the reason why I believe mistakes are necessary, because they help you build up that tenacity and that curiosity to keep learning and keep growing. Because if you keep succeeding and only succeeding, you get comfortable and you become complacent, and that's not what we want to do. But you also don't want to make intentional mistakes, of course. If you make a mistake, it's because you're trying, not because you intentionally want to fail at something and you think you're going to get a lesson out of it. That's not what we're trying to do. So also another thing is that I feel is a problem is it's better to make a mistake than faking perfection. And what do I mean by that? Faking perfection is another problem that I feel people are trying to put out. They're trying to always do everything the right way, make sure everything is right. The moon has to align with the stars, and they're always trying to project that everything's okay and perfect, when in reality, something could be wrong. And, that's another reason why I feel like it's better to just be natural, let things go, and where focus goes, energy flows. So if you just let things happen naturally and gravitate towards understanding that along the way of where you want to be, no matter what you're pursuing, things are going to change along that path. The vehicle you start on isn't the vehicle you're going to arrive on. And there's actually a nice quote by Einstein, and it goes like this: insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You can't keep doing the same thing and eventually think that it's all going to work out and pan out how you want it to, because far too often in life, as we know, things change and nothing ever goes according to plan. Nothing. Whether it's in an event that you're planning, whether it's something that you're pursuing, something's always going to get in the way. There's always going to be troubles, obstacles, and problems that interfere with whatever we're trying to achieve. And honestly, from my own experience, the biggest lessons and blessings that I've had is from mistakes. Whether it's in my relationships, whether it's in school, whether it's at work, I always found that I could improve anything when I extract the lessons from my mistakes. Because you only make a mistake once. If you make the same mistake again, it's not a mistake, it's a choice. So you have to, it's okay to make mistakes, but you have to learn from them. Because if you don't learn from them, then it's not a mistake anymore. You're just choosing to continually do the same thing over and over again and pray that it's going to work out. And that's not going to happen. It's going to cost you opportunities, it's going to cost you time, and hopefully it doesn't cost you money. Because especially when it comes to, for example, school, I was happy and blessed, with the opportunity to be getting those scholarships. I was getting $15,000 to $20,000 a semester in scholarships, and that's what worried me was, that first exam. Because now, like, if I'm not showing the results, then that can be taken away, and they'll give it to somebody who, I guess, can give them the results that they're seeking. So, that kind of worried me a bit because I had a lot on the line. That's the reason why I went to that specific school for nursing school. But eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do things my way, and I'm going to learn from this mistake, and I'm going to change some habits. So the first thing I did was I went to group study sessions. I absorbed information and saw how other people absorbed information and put things together. And I started reading the books and the chapters ahead of time. And then eventually in class, sit down, ask the teacher, hey, some questions. I don't understand this, I don't understand that. And then go back and read those chapters again. As well as also doing practice questions, because eventually I found myself understanding that these tests were more application based and knowledge based. So that definitely helped a lot. But I got out of my comfort zone. I was willing to look dumb. I was willing to understand where I went wrong, my flaws, the fallacies that I told myself that everything was cool, that I had nothing wrong that I did, when in reality, it was me and just the things that I was doing that was not going right. So another thing is that a mistake is only an error when it becomes a mistake. But when you fail to correct it, it'll forever stay a mistake. So you have to look at yourself, take a deep dive in yourself, look yourself in the mirror. What am I doing wrong? Where can I improve? Um, and that just doesn't go for school. I want to kind of shift that into making mistakes in life. Whether you're a parent, how can I improve my relationship with my kids? Maybe I gotta, you know, work less or change my parenting style. Um, or whether you're, going through some kind of addiction, especially with the young generation. And I'm not that old, but I'm not trying to make myself sound like grandpa on the porch, but you definitely want to understand, especially when it comes to addictive behaviors. What are you doing that's causing you to make mistakes in other areas in your life that are taking up time? And the only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to not even try to change your habits and your routines in your daily life. So if you're not changing your habits and your routines, or if you have a problem with focus and you're too easily distracted, maybe you should cut off social media. That's what I did. I cut off social media for about 2 years. The only thing I really had up until that point was Facebook, and I even deleted that temporarily. I got it back and I went on there, and that's it. But I never, Instagram, none of that. TikTok, none of the Instagram accounts, none of these social media accounts, actually, should I say. Sorry. And I found myself being able to focus a lot more and really come up with strategic new ways to plan out my day and things that I was doing, because I didn't have distractions. So that's another thing that, if mistakes are made, that you should do, is cut off any and all distractions, whether it's trying to go to all the social events with your friends, or, you know, um, some other addictive behaviors, maybe like gambling, maybe drinking, maybe if you have a problem with drugs. I know there's a lot of things going on right now, epidemics, around the country that we're facing. There's so many, the political climate. So you definitely want to find ways to cut off any and all distractions, find ways to improve yourself, find ways to get closer to your goals. And mistakes is definitely necessary and a very vital component to that. So never be scared to fail, never be scared to just be yourself and give everything you got, because at least you tried. And there's also another saying, I forgot how it went exactly. There is the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. So it's better to discipline yourself and learn from your mistakes than regret ever trying because you made a mistake. And just know that it doesn't define who you are or what you do. It's part of being a human being. That's all. That's part of growing. We're all humans and we all make mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't allow people to opinionate on the sidelines and critique you. Don't allow family or friends to discourage you. I know sometimes we can take information, especially from loved ones or their advice, and run with it, but it's all up to you at the end of the day. And your mistakes are not who you are. They're just something that happened that you did. And like I said, you can always go up from there. So never let it just get in the way of you trying again or shifting. Whatever you're doing, if it's not working, just take massive action towards something that isn't working and move it towards something that will work so that you can get the results you want to see. And understanding that it's a good thing to fail, it's a good thing to make mistakes, because you can always go up from there and learn from them. I know it's not the usual lesson and the usual things that people would say, but I'm saying it. Mistakes are necessary and you're going to make them, so make the best of them and just enjoy your journey, because sometimes we take for granted what we have around us. We take for granted just because we have failures, the support system that we have while we make those mistakes, the environment that we have, the friends, family, the being able to get back up and try again. There's people, even like me, for example, in the hospital setting, that only wish they could make mistakes, that wish they can go out there and try things and not have to deal with their medical issues. So I think a lot of that, especially in the last 5 years being in the ER, and then now, I'm not in the ER anymore. I'm in a medical surgical unit, but it's definitely opened my eyes to see that there's nothing wrong there. It happens, and it's a blessing and an opportunity to be able to try new things and go to different ventures and figure out new avenues to what I want to do with my life. So those are my lessons and my take on mistakes, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And like always, more fun. Thank you.